Hello, I'm going to be showing you how to install a Volcano Manifolds Dry Nitrous System into any intake manifold that has the Volcano System interface into it. You're going to need the intake manifold with the Volcano System interface. Here's the Dry Nitrous upgrade kit. It includes the Volcano Dry Nitrous nozzle that fits your intake, a 90-degree fitting for the bottom of the nozzle, seal and a lock screw for the insert, a jet fitting to put the jet at the solenoid, and a hose to connect the solenoid to the nozzle. You'll also need a few tools. This is just a 3/8 drive ratchet with a 6/6 extension and a 6.58 socket. There's a 9/16 wrench to use the hose installation tool. 10mm wrench is for the fitting. Here's the hose installation tool. All of our nitrous kits come with this hollow extruded aluminum mil-spec hard coat anodized installation tool. I'll show you that in a minute. And all of our intake manifolds for the Volcano system include one of these hex drivers for the lock screw. You also need some Teflon tape and a drop of oil. First thing we're going to do is remove the velocity insert that does not have nitrous in it by backing out the set screw until it stops. Once that's out, you can crack this loose with a ratchet and then remove it. See, this is the middle Volcano and it's the same shape as our dry nitrous system. To install the dry nitrous nozzle, which has an outlet for each individual intake port and is 100% CNC machined made in the USA, we're going to first install the seal. This is a slightly different method than we used in the first episode where we installed just the velocity insert. And then instead of using a Sharpie, we're just going to guess and pick a side of that this goes in. Normally you would not install this over your intake manifold, especially if it's on the engine. Back it in until it stops, and then there's already a dab of oil in there. Please watch the other video to show that part. Okay, lined up perfectly. And you can see that it's going to be just over 1/4 of a turn to get to the mark where it needs to be. If it's between 1/4 and 3/4 of a turn, then the set screw lock screw is in the right spot. If it's not, then we would just simply take it out and put it on the other side. But since it isn't, we're going to install the fitting. So since we don't have to move this lock screw to the other side, we already know that this is in the front, since the front of the intake is there. And so now you get to decide where you want the fitting to point. If we want the fitting to come out the back, because we're putting the solenoid in the back, then we need to install this fitting so that the solenoid is in the back. So we take a little bit of Teflon tape here and put it on the fitting. I like to have a couple of good wraps. 1, 2. Make sure that the Teflon tape does not protrude over the end and that it's spinning the right way so it doesn't unravel when you screw it in. And then screw it into the fitting. Now, since we know we want it to come out the back, we just have to take the ratchet and reverse the ratchet and the screw and tighten it so that it is pointing towards the end without the set screw in this case. And now it's ready to be installed. So you just back up until it's lined up. And then line it up and snug up the set screw. You can see that the mark is lined up, so the set screw is in the pilot hole. The next step is to install the hose. So we're going to take the Hollow Hex tool, slip it over the hose until it comes almost out, and then hold it there, and then you can feel it is on the nozzle. Get it so it's tight by hand, and then snug it with a wrench. Now it's nice and snug. After that, you just remove the tool and it's ready for installation into the solenoid. Screw this fitting into the solenoid, put your jet on there, and then hold that. Screw that on there. We have several different lengths of hose available, so you can mount the solenoid wherever you want, hide it, or make it easy to get to for servicing or jet changes. And we have several different versions of this available, at least 4 currently, with different angles to suit most intake manifolds. And next I will show you a video of this in action with the nitrous on and off.